From Volusia to Chico, Williams Grove to Knoxville, and all dirt tracks in between and beyond. This is Winged Nation. 1 full hour of news and interviews with today's top dirt drivers. Now, your award-winning hosts, Steve Post and Kendra Jacobs.
Hello again. It's Winged Nation on MRN.com talking sprint car racing, and we are glad you joined us. Kendra Jacobs and Steve Post. We have a great program for you. We're covering the gamut of it. We're going to Ohio with Chad Kemenah. We're going to Texas with Aaron Reutzel, and we're going to California with Kyle Hirst. We got you covered across the board. We are glad you joined us. Welcome aboard, everyone. Welcome aboard those watching the video stream, those listening online. You can follow along with us on Twitter at Winged Nation, on Facebook at facebook.com/Winged Nation. Alongside, as is always the case, Kendra Jacobs. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What are we at? 3 weeks from World Finals?
3 weeks from World Finals.
3 weeks till we're like, we're the welcome wagon.
Welcome wagon, exactly. We'll be standing on the bridges over the interstates, welcoming everyone here. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, for the first, that's the one time a year we get to sleep in our beds.
Exactly.
And everybody else has to stay in hotels.
Stay in hotels, exactly.
It's very nice.
Really, really cool. It really is. Hey, let's start off by a look at our Valco Racing Wheels results. Valco Racing Wheels, made by racers, for racers. World of Outlaws, Saturday night. Rolling Wheels Raceway Park. It's the same old.
And I'm getting flack from fans like, don't you appreciate history?
Love.
Yeah, I appreciate what's going on. It does not affect the fact that as media wanting to have stories to talk about and new things to talk about, he's stinking that up for us a little bit.
He really is.
It's no disrespect to him.
No, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
He's amazing.
I
love Donnie.
It's everyone else needs to step up their game. And, Donnie Schatz's 31st win of the season puts him in the category now with Steve Kinzer is the only guy that's won 31.
It's amazing. I mean, truly what he and Ricky Warner and that team are doing is amazing. It does not change the fact that we get excited when someone new wins.
Absolutely. But have all the respect in the world. To me, it's on the shoulders of everyone else.
Right.
You guys got to step it up. Now, in qualifying, Paul McMahon stepped it up.
Step it up.
Holy mackerel. 145.527, a new track record, fastest ever.
It's amazing. That
took it from Volusia, where he was 2 miles an hour slower a couple years ago from Pauly. Oh, Pauly can wheel a race car.
So now do we officially say Rolling Wheels is the fastest half mile?
And actually the way they slot in is Rolling Wheels, the New York State Fairgrounds, back when they raced there, was in the 144 range or something like that, and Volusia's third. So but it's the fastest.
It's funny because those are not the 3 tracks I would think would be the fastest half miles.
Yeah, but boy, I'll tell you, Rolling Wheels is a big old racetrack. I mean, that place has been. I mean, I used to go there all the time. That's not a half mile. That's 5/8. That's a big old racetrack with long straightaways. Man, they really haul around there. The modifieds haul around there. So Donnie Schatz picks up another win. UNOH All-Star Circuit of Champions, Saturday night. Eldora Speedway in Rossburg, Ohio. Chad Kemenah over Dale Blaney, Steve Kinzer. Kemenah, his second series win of the year. Wrapping up a great season for the All-Stars. Really, really cool. Good for Chad. And we're going to talk to Chad a little bit later on. He made a chassis change and parked that new Maxim chassis in Victory Lane twice this weekend by winning at Millstream. King of the West Series, Tyler Walker picked up the win. It was a tune-up for this coming weekend's Trophy Cup. Tyler Walker over Carson Macedo and
looky there,
the Wild Child, Jack Haudenschild.
Keeping it wild on the West Coast, too.
Oh, he's wild all over the place. He's wild wherever he goes.
He and his son are teammeats this weekend,
with
apparently,
Kyle Hirst,
in Trophy Cup.
With Kyle Hirst, they're running the Roth team.
That's like the coolest team ever.
That is Hurst
Jack,
and
Sheldon,
and
Hurst.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
Really, really cool. MOA Series, Friday night, Rico Abreu. Saturday night, Brad Loyat at Jacksonville, Illinois Speedway. Really, really cool. Season wrapped up. Jared Hall, 5th time. He's the champion in the MOA Series. Weekly racing, Williams Grove rained out. Gerard McIntyre, it's been a terrible season for Gerard, but he was able to get a win at Lincoln Speedway on Saturday night. And at Millstream, it was Chad Kemenah picking up just an independent race up in Ohio, picking up the win. So really, really cool. That's your Valco Racing Wheels race results. Made by racers, for racers. More information, you can go to Valco, VAHLCO.com. Kendra, another piece of news. Let me check that off there. Another piece of news is that the FVP National Sprint League schedule is coming together, and it's interesting. I don't know necessarily that I like it or don't like it. I'll just say it's interesting. 11 races at Knoxville. 11 races at Jackson Speedway.
That's a lot. We talked about Knoxville. So how many races are in their season? For 11 of them to be NSL, I mean, that's the bulk of the season. Really NSL heavy.
Yeah. Now, I mean, and like I said, I don't know. Here's the reality of it. John McCoy at Knoxville, Todd Quering with the National Sprint League know a whole lot more than I do. Okay, so this is not to question him. I just don't know that I care for it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never seen a one track have that many series races.
Well, and again, and Jackson has the same number, has 11, and a lot of these are going to be Fridays at Jackson, Saturdays at Knoxville. I like that a lot.
So how does that affect like Knoxville point standings? I guess if you run both, then you're also running for Knoxville Championship, or how many races does Knoxville have that aren't NSL races? That'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's all great because, I mean, the NSL's growing. And again, it's just, to me, it's different. I don't know that it's good, bad, or whatever. It's just different. And we'll see how it plays off. Now, Knoxville has a 2-day show over the July 4th weekend. Love that. You know, it's like every individual aspect of this I really love. I mean, you imagine what Knoxville's going to be like with most weeks going to be an NSL show? I mean, it continues to be arguably the toughest 410 division across the way. Now, and we mentioned a bunch of these are Friday night Jacksonville, Saturday night Knoxville. That's precisely what guys like Brownie and T-Mac and those drivers out there say. We need more races. We need more races. We need more races. So the NSL's delivering. And so really, really good. Here's the thing. I really like what they do. Now, and again, this is based on 100% participation. And all the tours want everyone to participate 100%, okay? But the purse is going to be increased to a minimum of $5,000 per win. So, and on throughout the board. So, so really good news as far as the schedule coming out. It's going to be interesting to see now where those other races fall in, those other races in the Midwest with Knoxville and Jacksonville taking up so much of the calendar. Going to be interesting to see where it is, but I mean, I know.
And I'll be interested with the NSL next year adding a 360 series. Do they race together all the time?
Yeah. Good question.
Will the 360s and 410s, every event be both?
Yeah.
Or are they going to separate? Because I feel like if you separate, then you're separating your field a little bit. Because if you run them together, there will probably be guys that do both.
Yeah, are they going to run opposite each other in
places? Yeah, because then you're kind of competing against yourself, right? A little bit. So it will be really interesting to see how that shakes out.
It's a good situation. You know, we rave about Pennsylvania in that there's so many races. The good news is it appears in the Midwest there's going to be so many races. And that's good. That's ultimately good news, is what Todd Quering has done, what Knoxville's doing, what everyone's doing is really good because racers are going to be able to race more. However we slice it, whether it's sanctioned, unsanctioned, whatever it is, racers getting to race more I think is a good thing. And they've got it in the Midwest. I
mean, we talk about 2 years ago, racers in the Midwest didn't have a lot of options.
No.
Now they have a lot of options.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what we needed to happen in that area of the country.
So good stuff there from the FVP National Sprint League, and stay tuned to all of their news. And you know, the nice part about it is, Kendra, is that we're sitting here in the early part of October talking about next year. That's the good news, because there's been times in this sport where we're sitting around in March wondering what's going to happen. And but with Todd getting involved with it, with Todd Quering getting involved and shoring things up out there in the Midwest, likewise in Ohio with Tony Stewart involved with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. We haven't seen much as far as schedule goes, but they just wrapped up Saturday night. I would expect you're going to see more and more on what they're going to do.
I mean, is Todd not the most generous person in the race? I mean, he's involved in everything. So, I mean, Sprint Car Racing's just lucky to have him.
Yeah, and he's just tearing down a bunch of grandstands at Jackson and making bigger ones. Got to get there. Got to get there.
Yeah, he's an exciting person because his passion for the sport really shows and how much he supports it.
Absolutely. Good stuff. We need to step away. When we come back, Chad Kemenah joins us to talk about a big weekend up in Ohio.
I'm Kerry Madsen, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Preserve and protect the appearance of your vehicle with select Armor All products at O'Reilly Auto Parts for $3.99 each. Choose from your favorite Armor All appearance products like glass cleaner, tough stuff, and tire foam for $3.99 each. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly. Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm NASCAR driver Jeff Gordon. Did you know that 43 children are diagnosed with cancer each and every day? That more children die from cancer than any other disease? Athletes of all ages are dedicating their stats to change these stats, and you can too. Visit JeffGordonChildren'sFoundation.org to become a Kick It champion. No matter what your sport, you can use your points, laps, or goals to change the odds for kids with cancer. Make your stats really count. Become a Kick It champion.
You're listening to Wings Nation on MRN.com. Talking more dirt, here's Steve and Kendra.
Welcome back to Wing Nation. So glad you joined us. Let's go to the Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery guest line. Joining us after a huge weekend in Ohio, winning the All-Star Finale at Eldora Speedway and winning a Saturday night special at Millstream. Chad Kemenah's on the line. Hello, Chad. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, hello. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
We're fantastic. Congratulations. What a weekend.
Yeah, I think we've been waiting for a while for a weekend like that.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to think ending the season that way is great, but almost tough because you want to get back in the car and keep the season going as long as possible when you're on that kind of high in momentum.
Yes, I was just telling my car owner, I said, right now, if I could race about 9 days a week, I think I'd try it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Really exciting. Chad, I'm reading some of the stories there. You guys made a chassis change. Went to Maxim Chassis. And, I've kind of been into this idea, well, how much different are there between chassis? And I know there's a lot of differences you may not be able to share. But from the driver's seat, how much different are they in driving different chassis cars?
It's actually probably a lot more than I ever thought. I thought it was just a decal.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that big of an issue, but it's not that we were horrible, but we just never get any consistency, and then we just couldn't qualify, and when you can't qualify, when it comes time for the money races, you're usually out to lunch. Since we've put this thing together, I think we've ran it 5 times, and we've been in contention to win every night, so you can't ask much more than that.
Yeah, I've always wondered when drivers switch cars, because to us, to the layperson, a car is a car is a car. So when you sit in a different chassis, do you automatically feel the difference in it, or does the driver himself kind of have to shake it down too to feel, is this different from what I've been driving, or is it pretty much the same?
No, it was really, really big difference. Like I said, it kind of took me off guard because I didn't think it'd be that big of a difference. I've ran Maxims for so long, but with my brother's history in the J&Js, I just thought, other than maybe the hood's looking different, I thought they were all about the same. But it was pretty bizarre different from the driver's seat, what it felt like from the first night we hot lapped at Fremont Speedway, and sometimes Fremont's a little hard to tell anything because of the size. But here's something way, way different. I got out right away.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it is. It's amazing, and certainly the results show that, that's for sure. And the results of the phone call have gone dead, apparently. Yes.
The joy of technology.
Well, it was getting worse and worse. We started off with a little bit, and then it got worse and worse, and toward the end there, we started to lose him. So I know our main man, Kreger, will dial him back up and get him twisted back in. But,
Steve, so I posed the question on Twitter. If you're a driver, is it harder for you for the season to end on 2 wins, or harder for you for the season to end on 2 nights of struggling?
Oh, wow. Good question. That's on Twitter.
I mean, for totally different reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you win, you're like, God, I want to get back in the car and keep winning.
Right.
When you're end on 2 nights of bad, you're like, God, I want to get back in the car because I want to fix it. So which one's
But if you know it's your last race, you got to end with the win. I mean, it's like because
I would think the off season would be longer ending on a win.
Yes, but happier.
I don't know. I kind of get happier, like more relieved, but I still think it would be a hard off season to sit around and wait when you finally got everything put together and you're producing wins.
And can you maintain that over the winter? I get that. But the bottom line of it is if you struggled in your last race, then you're like, you don't have that hope of maintaining.
I would be afraid that 2 months of not racing would our momentum's going to oh my God, we got to get back in the car.
But if you don't have that momentum, what's your hope then? Like, in other words, if you struggled at the end, if like you just struggled down the stretch, what do you say? Well, but we'll get them next year. What makes you think you'll get them next year? Where if you have 2 good weekends, you're like, we'll get them next year, and you have some basis to do it. I don't know. That's just me.
I think it's just difficult.
Great debate. Chad, you got Kendra and I here arguing and talking about things, talking about winning and going into the offseason. Now, are you coming to the World Finals? Do you have more races this year?
Yeah, we'll run the Outlaw Show at Lawrenceburg this week, and then I don't know if we'll do Short Track Nationals or the Outlaw Shows back out east here at Port Royal, and then they go to New York, and then down to Charlotte.
Okay, so you're not done as far as the racing goes. You're done with. I mean, the Ohio stuff is wrapped up, but you still have some races going up. Cool.
Yep, so that's more.
Chad, we've talked a lot in the past week or two, Steve and I, about at this point last year, the All-Stars were not even kind of. I mean, it was pure turmoil with the All-Stars last year. And at this point last year, we didn't know what was going to happen. Now that a year is under the belt, now that you've experienced a year under the new ownership, what are your thoughts of how the All-Stars did in their first season and the future of the series?
Well, I think everybody that did it and was around it, you'd have to say they're definitely trying, and there's no doubt about it. It's just like anything else. When you do it every night, there's some things you like or don't like, but I think Tony's got all the right people in the right places to make the thing pretty successful. And I don't know, after reading the internet this morning there with the whole Knoxville thing going on, I think sprint car racing, there's going to have to be a few people step up to keep up with Todd Clearing's big game treat thing.
Yeah,
he's starting to make everybody else look like they're spectators.
I mean, putting the money, because the purses that he has, we had that in our news before we chatted with you. I mean, but I think that's a good thing, because 2 years ago we didn't have Todd Queering and we had an all-star circuit that was very, very fractured. I agree with you, but to me it's kind of great because, and here's the other thing, Chad, I think Tony Stewart's kind of the guy that's not going to let Todd Queering outdo him also.
No, and Tony really cared.
I mean, no doubt.
I could say, like there'd be times we'd get done racing and at midnight he'd be calling your phone when you're driving down the road. So I don't know if there's many other leaders of any organization that would spend the time to do that just to make sure things were okay. And, the only thing for me and being around the All-Stars thing, basically, my family's been around it forever, but you hope that it just continues to grow. And maybe the thing with Knoxville and that, sometimes competition is what's needed to make it better.
Yeah, another thing that changed this year with the All-Stars was the new format, specifically the qualifying and then how you make the feature or line up the feature. In the beginning, it seemed like people were really nervous about that, which change always does to people. But now that you've done that, do you like the new format, or do you think that there could still be some adjustments to that?
No, I think format's good. It's probably, it's like anything else. As racers, we sit around and think of everything that we know how to make perfect. But it's just, if there's any little things, it'd be maybe that when you qualify that good and you don't make it, you shouldn't have to start that far bad. You shouldn't be third or fourth quick start 20th in a feature.
Yeah.
That's probably not. That, we talked about that. That's probably one thing that maybe they need to look at. It'd be like somebody qualifying on the pole at Martinsville and starting 28. Mm-hmm. They probably wouldn't be very happy.
No, not at all. No. You're correct about that. They would not, and I think that's the thing is and the beauty of it is listening to your talking about it, the fact that Tony is talking to you guys and getting a broad appeal, I feel pretty comfortable that they'll fall into the right spot and figure out where they need to be.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, nobody can doubt Tony's passion for sprint car racing. So
yeah,
that you have to tell everybody, that in your own mind, I'd say that as a future of sprint car racing, it's got to be a good thing. I mean, look at what he's done at Eldora, just cosmetically.
Yeah.
I think it should only be good.
And it sounds like he really gets your guys' opinions a lot and your input and asks for that. I believe if rumors are true, there was another meeting at Eldora this past weekend to get all of your input for rule changes or for the 2016 season.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and I mean, he couldn't make it, but I mean, thank God for our technology, even though mine just quit on you guys a minute ago, but he can call in and he's meeting the whole time, over the phone. So anything that he wanted to say, he can, and he can listen to what a whole room full of racers, which sometimes that ain't the greatest thing, but what we all had to say, and they all take it in. And he's got some good people working for him that know the sport. I think it's pretty. Everyone should be pretty positive about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We really are excited. We're excited where we're sitting now and where we look a year ago. Oh my gosh, it's night and day difference. Chad, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the success. Continued success as you roll through the fall season, and we'll look forward to catching up with you down here in Charlotte in a few weeks.
All right, thanks a lot.
There we go. That's Chad Kemenah joining us here. I got a kick out of this. Okay, he's talking about the meeting that Tony is leading as the head honcho of the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Okay, now I'm assuming when everyone rolls into Charlotte, there will be World of Outlaw meetings where Tony will be in a different seat.
Well, yeah, because he was the leader of the All-Star
All-Stars.
meeting. Now he'll be out with the drivers and car owners.
Like Chad said, he'll be part of the room full of drivers, which may or may not be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, listening to a room full of drivers and owners is not easy. So yeah, Tony's going to switch seats.
Okay, Tony, you take this hat off.
Which we've heard stories of how some of those meetings have gone,
absolutely.
which are entertaining to say the least.
Absolutely, and it's all about passionate. You care about it.
Right,
really
everyone wants the best for the sport. Everyone, there's
the guys sitting
no
at the head
selfishness.
table. The guys sitting at the head table want the best for the sport, and the guys sitting in the chairs want the best for the sport.
Yeah, no one's getting single-handedly rich in sprint car racing.
No, not
so
at
no
all.
one's saying, well, this is best for my bottom line. Everyone's saying this is best for the sport overall because we need the sport to continue.
Great stuff. Great
It
stuff.
is. I love that that's what it's becoming is meetings to get everyone's input to get the best product.
To get the best product.
And like he said, Todd Queering stepping up the game, which
great.
is only providing more competition.
Yeah, exactly.
And competition is a good thing.
Yes, exactly, because you're sitting there in Ohio and you're like, wait a minute, All-Stars are National Sprint League, minimum $5,000 apiece. Minimum for $5,000 to win. Now, the All-Stars have been pretty good on that mark. I think they've been good on that mark. But just different things.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, it's amazing. It's good.
Really
We're having a good time. We really are. Hey, that interview was brought to you by Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery. Great T-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and so much more. Hoodies, towels, golf bags. Oh, they've got it all. More than just racing, also corporate, other sports, schools, special projects. Check them out at ClassicInkUSA.com. That's ClassicInkUSA.com. When we come back, we're talking Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour Racing. They're heating it up in Texas this weekend, and Aaron Reutzel joins us next.
Hi, this is Sam Haferteep. You're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Your destination for sprint car history. Check out the Salute to Champion Doug Wolfgang exhibit, featuring 5 of Doug's sprint cars, all 5 of his winning Knoxville Nationals trophies, as well as helmets, uniforms, and other Wolfgang memorabilia. Also check out Damian Gardner's world's fastest sprint car that the Demon drove at 211 miles per hour at Bonneville. Open 7 days a week all year in the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville, Iowa. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum.
Racers, that's who Valco wheels are. That's who they know, and racing is what they know. Valco Wheels focuses oval track and grassroots racing, and understand racers need a quality wheel that fits your budget. With over 25 years experience, Valco Wheels produces the best product and give you face-to-face support and customer service at the track. Fast delivery, innovative products, problem solving. Find Valco Wheels at Valco.com on Twitter or Facebook, or call Valco Wheels at 609-758-7013. Valco Wheels.
You're listening to Winged Nation. Now back to Steve and Kendra.
Welcome back. We are having a great time. We're glad you joined us. This next segment of the show is brought to you by the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. They kick it back off with a pair of races this weekend at the famed Devil's Bowl Raceway. And the point leader, Aaron Reutzel, joins us on the line. Hello, Aaron. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, good to be back. How you guys doing?
Good, good. What have you been doing in your downtime, or have you been finding races to go to?
I've been hitting a few races here and there, local stuff. Other than that, just spending time at the house with the family.
Yeah, we've seen these pictures of you and your son. What a cutie.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Like, how much fun is it right now when you're not racing so much that you get to do fun? What do you do with your son when you get the time to just hang out and be dad? What do you spend that time doing?
Well, he wants to be in the shop, and I'm trying to get him out. I'm like, all right, let's go outside and do something else, because he wants to sit in here and get in the cars and push tires around the shop. But we've been taking him out to the beach or go to Galveston or Kemenah Boardwalk and stuff like that. Actually, we got our fairs going on right now, so he's out at his Mother's Day Out program right now. So once we pick him up from that, we're going to take him to the fair.
I want to be your kid.
Are you
going
adopting?
To the beach? I know. I'm like, wait a minute.
We don't. Well, wait a minute. We do eat a lot of fair food. We do.
I want to go to the beach. Is what he kept saying. I was like, hey, I want to be your kid.
That's really cool.
Well, it's been a long season, and there was one strip that I didn't come home for 3 months, so trying to catch up on all of it right now.
Well, I mean, that's a very good point. It's just the nature of what we do. Leading the points, so obviously you're having a strong season overall. Are you satisfied, or are there things you're working on? How would you assess where you've been so far with it?
It's definitely been a roller coaster year between, we started off strong, and then we had that death that really set us back, and then we came back and we had another good run for about a month, and then here lately, man, it's just been all struggles. Just bad luck's been on our side. That 20,000 to win at I-80, coming off 4, looks like the checkered flag's in the air, and they throw the caution, and we get a flat under caution. So just kind of been having some bad luck lately, but hopefully it all turns around for this weekend so we can finish this deal off.
That kind of goes to our question we ask a lot, Steve. Aaron, would you rather be lucky or would you rather be good?
I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
It's amazing how luck can twist no matter how good you are, you can't control it. So, yeah, being lucky would be a nice thing to have on your side.
That's no doubt.
No doubt about it. No doubt. Hey, Aaron, you mentioned that there's a pair of races this week at Devil's Bowl. Just tell us a little bit about what you expect. Tell us how the track has been. Have you been there a couple times this year? What types of things you expect? I'm sure it's going to be a big field of cars because it is ASCS in Texas. But what's your expectations for this weekend as far as what you're going to be facing?
Well, yeah, you're definitely going to be facing a big field of cars. First night, it's usually pretty wet, so you got to hope for a decent pill draw so you can get through the heat, and then top 4 gets locked in for the final night. So definitely like to get in there and get locked in. So Saturday night's kind of relaxed, and we're going to be up in the top 6 somewhere starting. So we can just try to knock off a pair of top 5 finishes, and that should seal the deal.
What's the rest of the season look like for you? We just talked to Chad Kemenah about how he's pumped up because his season's ending on a high note, so he's adding more races. You're kind of frustrated because the season's not going the way you want. So do you add more races, or do you go back to the shop and regroup for 16?
Well, we're gonna finish it off with we're gonna go out to Las Cruces, and they got a 10,000 to win non-wing show and we'll go run, and we got some family out in El Paso we're gonna go visit. So that's probably gonna be our last race. Our 410 stuff's getting ready right now to go run the winter heat again. So I don't think I'll be able to make it out to World Finals.
Well, I mean, and it's always juggling it. Now, coming up after Devil's Bowl, I think, is the Short Track Nationals, right? I cannot. This is one of those that Kendra and I don't quite understand because we've never been there to it. But 100 cars at the Short Track Nationals, that's obviously a big challenge as well.
Oh, it is. It's that track. That's a big deal. They pay $2,000 to start, so that's where you see some of the field come from, and just that West Memphis and Arkansas area, they've already got a nice field of cars, and then we get people from Ohio and Pennsylvania come down, and so all our Texas area goes up there, and it's just, I guess it's been a big event for a long time, and that's definitely something I'd like to end my year on winning. We were close last year, and Bell ended up getting us, and so I'd definitely like to win it this year.
Last time we talked to you was on MRN's Wing Nation on MAV TV, and you had mentioned when I have 2016 plans, I'll share them with you guys. Is there an update? Is there something we should be all excited for, or do you still have us on hold?
I still don't have anything figured out yet. Whatever I can tell you, whatever it is, I'm just gonna. If it's my car, if it's the Beef Packers car, or whatever, it's gonna try to be all 410 racing next year.
Really?
I am gonna try to do that.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
So, but how tough is that going to be if you end up with your own car? How challenging is that going to be based in Texas?
Well, we'll definitely be not moving, but we'll be maybe renting a shop somewhere or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what series we'll go run, but we're definitely gonna try to do a 410 series.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
But sitting here talking about how there's more and more and more racing, it's exactly what a guy like Aaron Reutzel needs.
Right.
In every part of the country, there's a good 410 race to grab.
Correct.
Cool. Well, that sounds really, really good. All right, so here you go. You got 45 points on that pesky Johnny Herrera, who will not go away. Do you, as the night unfolds, as the season is unfolded, are you a guy that pays much attention to points, or do you try not to focus on it? Do you let it bother you? How do you approach this? Because he won't go away. That rascal won't.
No, Johnny's been doing it for a long time, so he's pretty good at points racing.
Yeah.
And I try not to focus on points because it'll definitely eat me up if I think about it. So this year our goal was to win the National Tour points, but I went at it as I was going to try to win as many races as possible, and the points would play out themselves instead of just kind of maintain a ride. So I think this weekend I'm just going to go for the same thing.
Nothing wrong with that. There's $60,000 on the line with that championship, so go out there and win it, and Herrera can't gain anything on you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, Aaron, it's been so much fun watching you this year, catching up with you right at Winter Heat, and then following along with the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour presented by MAV TV. We appreciate your time today. We'll be following along on Racing Boys this weekend, and we look forward to seeing what you have down there at the Devil's Bowl.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll be back on the show here shortly talking about this championship.
There we go. We'll look forward to that.
Great.
That's for sure. That's Aaron Reutzel joining us. He's the point leader of the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. And again, we've talked about Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. They have the race coming up this weekend, 2 of them, at Devil's Bowl, Friday and Saturday night, 2-night show. And they do the old school lock 4 in on Friday night.
I love that. I love where Friday has an implication on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
It just means more like, like he said, thank God. Like Saturday, you can kind of sigh a breath of relief.
You earned
because,
that, yeah.
that being that good on the prelim night means something for Saturday night. So I like the Outlaws used to do that too, and I love that. The only thing that changed back then is then prelim nights didn't count as an outlaw win.
See, that's where we got to do it.
I actually had this conversation with a NASCAR crew guy stopped me on pit road Sunday.
I'm not surprised. NASCAR crew guys talk more sprint car racing than anybody on the planet.
Well, I got stopped by more people talking about MAV TV and Wing Nation and have questions. So I got stopped by a crew guy on the NASCAR grid, and they said, hey, was Steve Kinser's 47 wins legit, or did that count wins that weren't really wins? I said, actually, he probably had more than 47 because back then they did not count prelim nights as wins.
That's something Steve's brought up when we look at the
overall.
overall.
So if you look at did he win 47, it was probably actually closer to like 52 or 53. Because I would need to go back and look and see what prelim nights he won. But they did not count prelim nights as wins.
You're right.
So his 47 is actually probably a low ball number, which just makes it even more impressive.
No, spectacular. It really is. Wow, 47 wins, a low ball number. You're probably right, though. I mean, because they did not count the prelims.
Right.
Exactly. Holy cow. That's amazing to think about. And, all those wins have Steve Kinser enshrined in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame.
As he should be.
Oh, how about that radio?
That was a great that's a segue. Like,
folks,
like,
that's radio gold right there,
so
baby.
Smooth.
You young kids that want to get into radio, listen to stuff like
that's
that.
That's like why Terry McCall says you make the big bucks.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And T-Mac, yeah. And you believe everything T-Mac says.
He's like Twitter. If it's on Twitter, it's true.
Yeah, if it's on Twitter,
T-Mac said it.
T-Mac says
it's true.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we are in trouble. Wow, there we go. All right, hey, anyhow, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, they're in the middle of the Expand the Dream program, sprintcarhof.com. Birthdays, Sunday, John Stambro's birthday. Today would have been the birthday of Wilbur Shaw, the inaugural class of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Tomorrow, Bad Chad Layton from up in Pennsylvania. Thursday would have been Chris Economaki's birthday. Tom Cherry, birthday as well. Now, Wilbur Shaw, the 1990 inaugural class of the National. When you're in that inaugural class.
When you're in the inaugural, this is a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Okay. He had all kinds of success in short tracks across the Midwest, and he actually, because they could race more, like a lot of other people at the time, moved to California and had success out there. He was the 3-time winner of the Indianapolis 500, 1937, 39, and 40. Okay? As we've talked about, it seems like every week we live in a society now in America where, yeah, we're fighting this war, we're fighting this battle, and life goes on. Back in the day when the war happened, the world stopped revolving. And when the war happened in the early 40s, Indianapolis Motor Speedway shut down.
Oh, it was done.
Okay. So what Shaw did, he was tire testing for Firestone at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And quite honestly, the place sitting for 2 or 3 years with no maintenance, the place was starting to fall apart. And he got concerned about the beloved Brickyard. So he rallied the troops, including the Hallman family, Tony Hallman, and decided that he didn't have money, but he found a bunch of people who did have money. Tony Hallman bought the racetrack. Shaw was put in place as president, and once the war was over, revived the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to ultimately what it is today.
God bless him for it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, I need to put someone in on the birthdays this week.
Okay, let me write this up.
So my Hall of Famer,
okay,
my grandmother, Mary Ann Jacobs, her birthday was on Saturday. She turned 81. Although she tells me it was her 21st.
21st?
Yeah, that's what she tells me. But yes, she raced and won Powder Puff events. Her husband raced. She gave birth to 3 son racers.
Yes, indeed.
And now grandchildren that are racing, grandchildren that are crew chiefs.
Grandchildren that are hosting TV and radio programs.
She is my racing Hall of Famer, and her birthday was Saturday. So she goes into my Hall of Fame birthdays for this week.
Nothing wrong with that at all. That is fantastic. So there you have it. A special Hall of Famer for Kendra and Hall of Famers for all of us. And, of course, all of these Hall of Famers are enshrined at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, Knoxville, Iowa, right there off from turn number 2. Hey, check out their online store, the largest inventory of sprint car-related merchandise in the world. And you can check out that online store at sprintcarhof.com. That's sprintcarhof.com. We need to step away. When we return, Kyle Hirst from California joins us next.
This is Paul McMahon, and you're listening to Steve Post and Kendra Jacobs on Wing Nation.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
A dead battery can leave you stranded, so get yours tested for free during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Need a replacement? Purchase a Superstart Extreme or Superstart Platinum battery and get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after a mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Sammy Swindell. Now back to Wing Nation with Steve and Kendra.
Thank you, Sammy. We appreciate it. Welcome back, everyone. Having a great time here. We appreciate you joining us. Focus this weekend is at the Thunderbolt Raceway in Tulare, California, where the famed Trophy Cup is coming up. And this is just a big race, big event coming up. Lots of fundraising involved with it. Some great stuff. So wanted to dial up one of the guys that's just been knocking it out of the ballpark out in the West Coast. Kyle Hirst joins us on the line. Hello, Kyle. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hi, how we doing? Thanks for having me today.
We are fantastic. Want to talk Trophy Cup with you, but want to talk season to date for you on the King of the West Series. Of course, you stepped away a little bit, ran some outlaw races. So when we look at the point picture, not necessarily at the top of the heap there, but when we look at the wins and we look at the performance, we're seeing some good numbers. How happy are you with the season?
Oh, it's been a great season. I've been lucky enough in racing for a lot of good guys and a lot of good teams, and been running the King of the West deal with Roth Motorsports, and started the year out with Kyle Main Motorsports. So we've been plugging away wins, running up front, and it's been a great season. I always have good people behind me and give me great stuff to go racing with.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Brent mentioned briefly you took a little hiatus from the West Coast, came out and did the World of Outlaws for a little while. What did you think about your experience running with the Outlaws full time?
Yeah, Dennis gave me the opportunity to go out there and run a couple races and see how it went, see how I liked it. And I give mad props to those guys that are away from home and race night in, night out like that. Because the biggest thing I like is I like being home, being in California. I have all my family out here, and I miss that aspect of it. So I give them a lot of credit for being able to be away from their families and do their job to support them and race night in, night out like they do. But it was a great opportunity. But what I found out is I love racing at home. I love racing every weekend, but I do the aspect of being around my family all the time and being able to race also.
Kyle, we don't get a chance. The one area of the country that Kendra and I both have circled that we need to get to more and more is California. So the lay of the land, the distance and everything like that. With the nature of what you're doing now, are you able to stay at home most nights? Do you have any overnights, or is it all pretty much staying at home?
I live up Northern California, up near the Chico area. So when we go down run south, I mean, it's a 5-hour drive. But after that races, I'd say thank you to everyone that was a part of the night, and I try to jam home. So I'm able to be home quite a bit during the week and always do stuff around. My brother's about to have a baby, so I'll be here for that and stuff like that. But a lot of long nights journeying home, but it's worth it that Sunday when you're home with the girlfriend and the dogs and stuff like that. So that aspect of it's all worth it.
What does your week look like when you're not racing? What do you do up there?
I always got something. That Finley Farms car I race, with the Rothfield, I'm spoiled enough they take care of it, and I just show up and race. But when I run the Finley Farms car, I take care of that. My buddy I drove for over in Australia, Michael Cunningham, I keep his car here at the house and take care of that and race that every once in a while. So there's always something. Me and the girlfriend bought a new house, so the honeydew list, we just built a fence last week. So there's always something to do on that list or something to do racing-wise. So I stay pretty busy one way or another.
Okay, more important than all of this, tell us about the dogs.
Dogs are great. I was just chasing them a minute ago, trying to get back to the phone. They went out and said hi to the neighbor out in the front yard, so I was chasing them around and got chocolate lab and a little corgi. So I was out of breath running back to the phone, making sure you guys hadn't called yet.
No, but those dogs keep you jumping for sure. People talk about kids, but I'm telling you, those dogs have a mind of their own.
Absolutely. My lab had me up at 4 a.m. this morning. That's his routine, wake me up for breakfast. So he did that. But the girlfriend wanted me to get a victory lane picture with him this weekend at Chico at Fall Nationals. They always tell me I don't win when she's not there, the dogs aren't there. So we were able to do that the other weekend in the Finley Farms car. So that was a cool photo to have with him in it.
Really, really cool. That's for sure. Now, Kyle, when we get this season wrapped up, and we've talked to John Prentice, we've talked to how things are going out there, we've talked to the Cadings, we've talked to everyone. When this season gets wrapped up, ballpark, how many races will you have ran this year?
I don't. I try to keep track best I can. I think I've ran mid-30s with the Roth car. I probably ran close to 20 with the Finleys.
Yeah.
I ran a handful with the main car. I ran some with the Cunningham car. I say between Australia and everything, I think I'll get around, I'd imagine 80 or so between bouncing back and forth and doing everything I do.
Wow. That's pretty stout for an area that we don't necessarily consider. You know, we hear about it, like we hear about Ohio having so strong, Pennsylvania, of course, being strong. But between the 360s and 410s, you guys sound like you have a pretty good deal going on out there, too.
Yeah, we stay pretty busy. I mean, I'm lucky, like I said, I'm lucky enough to spread it out between a couple different car owners that support me, and then I'm lucky enough to go to Australia and run for Luch Monty and people I've run over there for. So I have a lot of people support me, and I'm likely to race enough that year where I'm able to just keep racing.
Well, tell us about the Trophy Cup, because all Steve and I hear all the time is it's the best race on the West Coast. It's huge. Tell us about this race and what makes it so amazing.
I think the biggest thing is what they do for Make-A-Wish. I mean, that is definitely by far. I had a friend growing up that lived next door that had cancer and was able to be part of Make-A-Wish. So in that aspect, this race, if I go and tear it up and have a terrible weekend, it's still a great weekend because of what they do for that aspect of it. But then in the other aspect, they're putting the fast guys in the back, and that's the best racing that we have out here all year. It's a lot of fun. We're going to have up in 80 cars. Track's awesome. Tulare one of the best tracks around here in California. So I look forward to it every year. Like I said, if you have a bad weekend, it's still good because of what they do for Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Well, you mentioned they put the fast guys in the back. Tell us about the format and how all that works.
Pretty much you better be fast in hot laps because there's points gaining when you're in qualifying. You got to start in the back of your heat. Pretty much if you qualify good and you're a high point guy, you start in the back and you're going to have to pass a lot of cars. So it's formatted for the fans. You got to be on the gas and rolling pretty good to win the thing. So it's just a fan-based race, you know. You normally, the guy wins off the front row, but that's not how this deal's formatted. You got to start in the back, Last year, me and Gravel started off the back, and you got to try to pass as many cars to try to win the thing as you can.
That's got to be. I mean, granted, you're a race car driver. You want to go out and win the pole, start on the front row, cash the big check. I understand it, but it's got to be fun passing cars too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it'd be tough if it was like that every weekend, but the way Trophy Cups like this, and you're ready for that, and going into it that's how it's going to be, and it is fun when you can win from the back or win from wherever, not off the front row. It's always a lot better than doing it up front. So I think that's what generates a lot of the atmosphere about it. The fans are going to see a great race, whether it's in a heat race, anything, because you're trying to gain. You get 3 more points, and that's a matter of winning the championship or running second. So every time you're out there, you're just pushing it to the limit and trying to do everything you can to gain as many points as you can.
And it's one of those races, too, where there's a winner, right? But then there's a champion, like an overall champion?
Yes, you'll have a winner, because the guys that transfer out of the B main on Saturday night will start on the front row of the feature on Saturday night. And then I think that's how it is all 3 nights. But the high point guys will start dead last on Saturday night, and you just have 50 laps to see how far you can get to the front and hopefully win points. And then so you have an overall winner and the winner for the feature night.
Wow. Over $160,000 in prize money going up for that. Now, we also hear you've got a couple of young kid you've got one young kid teammate in Sheldon Hodenshield, but Jack Hodenshield going to be running a Roth car also?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jack was there this weekend at Tulare with us in one of the Roth cars. So, Dennis is always going to bring out a couple cars for Trophy Cup. That's a given. He loves this race, and what he puts into it, he wants to try to win it. So I'm looking forward to having both Jack and Sheldon. They both are, they're going to be on the gas, so I better be on the gas too. So I'm looking forward to having both of them out here this weekend. Bonsai's coming out too, so it should be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it.
Has Jack, do you ever get a chance to just sit around and chat with Jack?
Yeah, we sat down, caught up, talked about Sheldon's year, and it's never a dull moment or something, an awkward moment. You just have a great conversation and good to catch up with. And I'm looking forward to see Sheldon again too. He had an outstanding year. I had a great time watching all the highlights of him out there winning races and stuff. So it'd be cool to catch up with him and hopefully go out and all around front this weekend.
There's that T-shirt Patty Hodenshield made where there's 4 groups. There's there's low, in the middle, high, and Hodenshield. So we know what groove Jack's running. We know Sheldon's usually the high groove. Which groove are you going to be in this weekend?
I definitely love being in the high groove. If I run the bottom, it's like pulling teeth. I last there. I don't mind if someone passes me on the bottom, but if someone passes me up top, that's when I lose it, and I got to go right back up top. So I'll be up there with them. We'll be knocking down the boards at Tulare and hopefully get this thing up front. We want to win this thing. It means a lot to Dennis, and it'll mean a lot to me to win it. So we're going to do everything in our power to get that done. It's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of good competition, a lot of good cars, a lot of good people. So should be a great week. And if anyone's sitting around contemplating to go, they should probably head that way right now and start camping.
That's because there's probably a little party breaks out a little bit too, huh?
No, I'm sure. My dad's bringing his motor home, so we'll be out there having a couple beers after the races. And like I said, it's just a great atmosphere. You have great people.
Yeah.
It's a race I think we all look forward to out here in California to wind down the season. And should be a great time. You guys need to think about coming out to one of these one year.
Yeah, and I think you just invited like everyone in the audience or in the stands to join you at your dad's motor coach.
Hey,
so we'll just say that.
They're all welcome.
Everyone's invited. Great. Everyone in the grandstands. Head out to the Hirst motor coach.
Just make sure you bring your cooler and you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's a party.
Exactly.
Good time.
Kyle, I'll tell you what, congratulations on the success this year. We're going to be following along. TheCushion.com has the pay-per-view on this Trophy Cup this weekend, so we'll be following along there. But have a good weekend out there, and thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. Hopefully I catch up with you guys again soon.
Absolutely. Let's hope for that. There's Kyle Hirst joining us. And, again, great season driving the Roth number 83 car on the King of the West Series. Ran some World of Outlaw races. But this weekend, all attention is on the Southwest Contractors 22nd Annual Trophy Cup in Kendra. He started talking about this, and I know we do the Kick It Driver, which is for kids, but over $1 million in the 22 years of this race. Over $1 million has been raised. The guy that put this thing together runs a little trophy shop there called the Trophy Cup.
Love it.
And he put
I always
the thing
wondered why
together.
that was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he run. I think it's called Trophy Cup. It's a trophy shop, and he put this all together with the goal of trying to raise some money, a little bit of money. 22 years ago, a little bit of money for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, just a little bit. $1 million.
Dollars for
I go back
Make-A-Wish.
to saying the sprint car racing community is the most generous group of people I've ever met.
So, fantastic. We'll be following along with that. We need to step away. We have our Kick It Driver of the Week and a whole lot more coming up on the Wing Nation. Stay with us, everyone.
This is Tony Stewart. Kendra and Steve will be right back with more Wing Nation here on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
The new standard in race car screen printing and embroidery, Classic Ink USA. Full custom race car track swag apparel, quality customer service, and the industry's finest graphic designers, assuring quick turnaround and the highest customer satisfaction. See the latest designs at ClassicInkUSA.com, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or call us 724-482-6224. Serving racers and their teams, all divisions, all over the world. Classic Ink USA, at the track and on your back.
The American Sprint Car Series returns for its 24th year. Over 150 events across national and regional schedules, 56 cities, 16 states, and some of the sport's best like Herrera, Swindell, Hafertepe, and Reutzel, along with the next generation of stars. See the full lineup of events at ASCSRacing.com. Get updates on Facebook and Twitter, and catch every Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour event live on RacingBoys.com.
I'm Paul McMahon. Now back to Wing Nation with Steve and Kendra.
Oh, there's the rocket fast Paul McMahon joining us here. Thanks, Paul. We appreciate it. Welcome back, everyone. Kendra Jacobs and Steve Post here on the program. And Kendra, our Kick It Driver of the Week. What do you have?
So, October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so
absolutely.
we're seeing a lot of pink. All the girls love it, including me. Well, Tanner Thorson unveiled his pink paint scheme this weekend at Eldora Speedway, and also took contributions throughout the weekend for breast cancer awareness and to donate to the foundation of his choice that helps breast cancer patients. So he raised $630 Saturday night alone at Eldora. Again, I go back to the generosity of sprint car fans. It's incredible. So this week's Kick It Driver of the Week, for going out on his own, doing something for him and for these breast cancer fighters out there. So Tanner Thorson, our Kick It Driver of the Week.
That is fantastic. And you're right. It's just like every time we turn around, sprint car fans, sprint car drivers, sprint car industry are jumping in no matter what the cause is and really, really doing some good things. Let's see. Upcoming Friday night, World of Outlaws, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. And that will be on Dirt Vision. So one race for the World of Outlaws this weekend, and that's at Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by MAV TV, American Real, Friday and Saturday night from the Devil's Bowl Speedway in Mesquite, Texas. If you can't make it to the famed Devil's Bowl, check out RacingBoys.com. RacingBoys.com, our buddy Scott and the whole gang will be down there. Oh, gosh, I have brain fade. His pit road reporter is Scotty. Scotty's great, Scotty Cook. So they'll be there covering it all from Mesquite, Texas. Weekly 410 racing. Well, Pennsylvania's still going, Kendra.
Of
Port
course
Royal
it
on
is.
Saturday
It's not
night. It's kind of
frozen yet.
Yeah, it's kind of like an outlaw tune-up at Port Royal. They're having a big racers flea market and all kinds of stuff.
Next weekend's the big outlaw race there. Yeah.
Sunday, 2 shows: a party at the Path with Fred Raymer's promotion and Susquehanna Speedway Park. So 2 shows.
And I've heard, I saw where our boy Dietrich was kind of saying, hey, I hope you guys all kind of shift the time, this a little bit, because at night it is cold.
At the Path,
but they usually do a good job in PA of keeping the shows moving and getting them out early.
So 2 of them on Sunday, and then the Trophy Cup.
So only 3 races in 2 days for Pennsylvania people.
Pennsylvania, exactly.
They're not spoiled.
And then the Trophy Cup, the Southwest Contractors 22nd Annual Trophy Cup, Thursday through Saturday at Tulare at the Thunderbolt Raceway. 360 sprints, total payout $160,000. And if you want to follow along on this, thecushion.com. The Cushion is where you need to follow along. So, all kinds of stuff still going on across the racing world. And with that, that's going to about wrap. Oh, no, wait a minute, Kendra. Wing Nation on MAV TV, presented by Hercules Tires.
A very interesting conversation this weekend with Kevin Swindell.
Yes, indeed. So an update on where he's at, an update on what's going on. And we will talk with Kevin Swindell. That is on Saturday morning, 9:30 Eastern Time, and 12:30 Eastern Time on Saturday afternoon. And you can catch that. I love what our friends at MAV do, because now it's Sprint Car Saturday morning is what we've got. So what we have is we kick it off with Wing Nation at 9:30. And it's all East Coast time, so you need to adapt across the country. And then what follows us is the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour presented by MAV. So I think this week might be Skagit, and they've been running some of the West Coast races, Skagit and Cottage Grove. That's where they filmed a lot of the races at this year. So we have the ASCS National Tour from 10 to 11 Eastern Time. At 11 o'clock, Dirt Dreams, which is the Knoxville show. Okay, at 11:30, okay, we have the Dirty 30, which is non-wing sprint cars from the Midwest.
But still sprint cars.
Great stuff. Great show. The Dirty 30 show is a great show. And then noon, we kind of step back into NASCAR Race Line, which is a show I do some stuff with. But still you. So
you're tied in.
And then 12:30 back with Wing Nation. So sprint car Saturday morning.
All these years we've sat and said, gosh, sprint car racing needs more television coverage. Sprint car needs more television coverage. MAV TV has given us what we wanted.
We used to live for Saturday morning cartoons.
Now I live for Saturday morning sprint cars.
Yeah, and we've got it all. So really, really cool. So I love what our friends at MAV are doing. And this week, real interesting conversation with Kevin Swindell. And just going to be interesting to catch up with Kevin, see how the recovery is going and all of that. And Kendra, you mentioned at the top of the show, we're only a few weeks out from the World Finals. We got some big plans, folks. We haven't got them all buttoned up, but we'll probably share them with you in the next week or two. But we got some big things happening.
Of course we do. When you come to our backyard.
Oh yeah, no, we're not scared here. We're not scared. We're gonna kick it up.
If only we could get a dingus in Charlotte.
A dingus in Charlotte is the only thing. We cannot do that.
Can we get a dingus franchise? AJ Mata, are you listening?
Yeah. That's
Steve,
a good idea.
I would co-own that with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You and I could own that thing. The problem is there'd be no profit at all.
Yeah, we might get a little off track and enjoy our own business.
Yes,
too much.
exactly. I love where I work. Yeah. At 3:30 in the morning. I love my job. Yeah. So going to be fun. The World Finals, of course. The World Finals. The cool thing. I love the different flavors. I love the flavor of Trophy Cup. It's a different format. I love the Knoxville Nationals. I love that the National Open was going to be 3 days. Love the Kings Royal and love the World Finals because, yes, we love our sprint car racing, but this allows the Sprint Car Nation to check out the late models, the World of Outlaw late models, and the Super Dirt Series modifieds. It allows the late model guys, like Rick Eckert. I mean, he's kin with Cody Darrow. He never gets to see Cody race, but he gets a chance to do it.
And I love, the sprint car guys are up on their trailers watching every modified race, every late model race.
And similarly, and I know Ashley, yeah, exactly. Shots, yeah.
He's running both, I believe. I mean, he did last year. I would assume he would.
So, and Ashley and David Stremme, of course, do Sling and Dirt. They cover more of the modifieds and the late models here, and so looking forward to that. NASCAR Coast to Coast with Kyle Rickey and the Right Reverend Buddy Long. Coming up next, we appreciate you joining us here on Wing Nation on MRN.com.
You've been listening to the nation's premier winged sprint car radio program, Winged Nation. Tune in next Tuesday at noon for more talk from the dirt tracks. Winged Nation is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center or download from iTunes or Stitcher. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.